Okay, Volker-san, konnichiwa. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for letting me into your private life, basically.
My private life. Oh, okay. That's gonna be interesting.
It's your home, right? So kind of it's your private life.
Yes.
Good. Please, let's make everybody know you a little better. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are?
Okay. You can also ask me questions, but I can just start. I'm Volker. Volker Hochwald from Germany,
Yep.
South Germany. I'm living near Stuttgart area in a little town called Korntal. I'm born in 1971, so I'm 48 years old.
We are the same. We are the same.
What's it? Same age? Ah, okay.
We cannot tell the same things, but just about the age, we are good. The same.
Yes, I started Aikido in 1986.
Right.
So quite some time ago. But at that time I was teenager. I trained another style, not Iwama Ryu or Dento Iwama Ryu. But as soon as I started to train Aikido, it kind of became my life. It was very important for me from the beginning.
Yeah, you know.
And at this time I was living.
No,
sorry.
Keep going. Keep going. Sorry, I was jumping to some questions, but go.
Yeah, okay. At this time I was living maybe 1 hour from here. As teenager with my parents, and when I became student, I recognized a video I had. There was in the Aikido club I was training. There was a video cassette, and on this video cassette there was a Stanley Brennan Aikido friendship demonstration. Maybe you remember those videos.
Yeah.
And there were many Japanese Shihan demonstrating their Aikido, and the most impressive one was Morihiro Saito Sensei.
Yeah.
So because he was so cool, just looking at his face was very cool, and of course all the weapons techniques he did. And then at this time I was student at the university in Stuttgart, and I checked in the internet about Morihiro Saito Sensei, and I recognized there was a seminar going on in June in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Saito Sensei, so I got in contact with the closest group of Iwama Ryu. That was another 1 hour to the south in Tübingen. And I started training in this dojo, Iwama Ryu, in this dojo, which was very difficult because it was completely different to what I knew as Aikido before.
Yeah. So what?
Much more precise, much more Kihon Wasa, the step-by-step training. I wasn't used to that.
Yeah. So how long did it took you to jump to one style to the other style? Just to let people know about this feeling, because many of us has the same thing. I mean, we start doing Aikikai, and then we decided it's not for us, and we decided to go to Iwama Ryu. And how long it took you?
My decision to completely change took me 1 year.
Okay.
I started in February in this Iwama Ryu dojo in Tübingen. At the same time, I trained in my old dojo, and I more and more got into conflict with the techniques, and the Iwama Ryu was much more logical to me. A lot of questions I had before just got answered when I trained in the Iwama Ryu dojo. So in the same year, when I went to Italy on the seminar in June, I decided to go to Japan just in this year.
Yeah.
So in December, that was 98, in December I went the first time to Iwama for 1 month. And after that, it was clear to me that I changed completely to the style. And technically, I was very young at this time, so it was easy for me to change the movements to Iwamario, to adapt to the new form, new techniques.
Well, well, and who was your first teacher? Actually, on Iwamario, did you follow a specific one? You had the chance to travel. Who tell us about that?
Yeah, in the dojo, in the Iwamario dojo, I trained was Henning Inselmann. At this time, I think he was Sandan or Yondan Iwamario, graded from Morio Sensei. He was my first Iwamario teacher. But after the passing of Morihiro Sensei and after some time of Iwama Shinshin Aiki Shurenkai, Henning-san, he stopped doing Iwamario. He's now into this Aikikai Takemuso Aikido group. We also have here in Europe.
So, when was your first time? You told us about going to Iwama. What did you feel the first time you arrived to Japan? I think that is for me, the more intriguing, because what I felt when I landed to Japan was one thing, but then going to Iwama, I mean, all the trip from the airport, by being all scared to be lost, all the connections of things, and then maybe asking people very gently, hoping to someone to respond me in English, right? But then have no answer. Maybe some young, old lady pointing me directions, trying to understand. So can you tell us about that? Those feelings? I feel those are important.
For me, it was more easy for me. I was not alone, actually.
All right.
Because the first time I went to Iwama was together with Francisca. Francisca is my wife. At this time, she was my girlfriend. And she was in Iwama already. So from point of view, she's my senpai, actually. I think she came to Iwama first time in 94, 95 or something.
Oh, wow.
And the dojo in Tübingen from Henning, they had connection already. So there was a Japanese guy, Nakamura-san was his name. He's also not following Itohira Sensei anymore, but at this time he was training in the dojo. He picked us up at the airport.
Okay.
So it was very easy. So I was just sitting in a car, jet-lagged. I fell into sleep, and then we had some sushi somewhere and some sightseeing, and then he brought us to the dojo, which was the old dojo, of course. Paraki dojo.
And well, we have here connected Jose-san. He has also many stories about the old dojo. Anything that you want? Because I haven't been there. Just sneaking in some Taisai celebration, just to be inside of the old dojo, but I haven't trained. So
yes.
What's the feeling being over there?
The feeling, it was great. It was for me, it was kind of like a magic place, because it was the O-sensei's place. And also the fact that there's a lot of land, a lot of nature.
Yeah.
So you spend the time at the place where you train, also as Uchideshi. You can just go outside, take a joe, and start doing some Chiyo Keiko, and go into the dojo and do some Chiyo Keiko. But also it's a bit esoteric, but it's like the felt energy of this place was very special.
Yeah.
Also the training, the first training I was there, I arrived Saturday, and then they told me there will be training tonight and then tomorrow, and then there will be 1.5 days off. It was the same like now, Monday no Keiko. Yeah. And I was very, very energetic and sportive, and so on. I thought, what? Just three Keikos, and then you have break already? And then I went to this first Keiko, and it just 1 hour, you know, it's 1 hour keiko, and it was such high energy that I was completely exhausted after this.
Oh, yeah.
And after the Sunday morning class, I was really happy that we had 1.5 day break.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this energy level I never felt in any other place except the Tanrinkan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Sensei was able to take this energy from the O-Sensei dojo to his Tanrinkan. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So how many times have you been already on Iwama by now? You lost the count already?
I kind of lost the count. I was in Japan maybe 28 times, 29.
Wow.
But I also had, I was working as an electronic engineer for a Japanese company. So I also had business trips to Iwama, not to Iwama, to Japan. But when I had business trips, it was very close to Iwama actually. So I had the chance to come to train in Iwama as well.
That's nice.
So as Uchideshi, maybe I would say maybe 18 times, 20 times,
Wow.
something like this.
Wow. And did you have the
usually every year.
Yeah. So did you have the chance? I guess you might be head Uchideshi. Can you tell us, if you do, what is the sensations for people who are afraid? Because I have also the feelings for people says, I don't want to be head Uchideshi. I don't want to have that weight on my back, having Sensei thinking of me or so. Can you tell us, what did you feel, and did you recommend it to do it? Just tell us.
About, I'm not sure if I understood correctly, about being head Uchideshi, you think?
Yeah. Did you recommend to do it? Have you been
for a long time? I wasn't. Yeah, but it's actually hard to say. Most of the time when I arrived in Iwama, there was always a long time Uchideshi who was like you, who was staying there for 8-9 months or longer, even longer. So for me, being head Uchideshi is not being the highest grade of the people being Uchideshi. It's about the person who is the most able to run the dojo, to run the place, the Uchideshi place. And that's the person who has the experience, the latest experience, because things are changing also.
Yeah.
So even if he's white belt, if he's there for 10 months, then he's the person in charge. Oh, and yeah. I don't care about the grade I have, somebody else have. And my task is to help this person with my experience, and to support everything, to have a good place, to have a good Uchideshi life, and to support Sensei in his work and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my point of view. I never arrive in Iwama and tell people, so hey, now I'm 6th dan, you go away, I'm the head here. I don't care about this. This is for me, it's not a very intelligent way to support Sensei. The most supportive Sensei is to recognize who's the person in charge and to support him.
Yeah. I have to acknowledge, I know that maybe my experience is not as many as yours or many others, but I've been on Iwama last time in 2018. I was for a month. By that time, Victor Vergés was already like a Saiyajin over there. Right? It was almost for a year being Uchideshi, head Uchideshi, and the way of knowledge, Victor grabbed from there. He knew everything. I mean, everything, every single details. It was so perfect. And it was like, okay, yes. This is vacation time for me. You know, because he was taking care. I mean, this is like, I want to enjoy this time of Iwama.
Such a head Uchideshi is very, very relaxing.
Yeah, yeah.
I also came in 2008 and did a great job.
Yes, okay, you enjoy him, no, good. So can you tell us about what's the situation on all the dojos here there on Germany? What's how's the structure being on Germany on Iwama Shinshin?
In general, not in this difficult time, but in general, we are not so many dojos compared to France or compared to Italy. We are maybe eight or nine dojos. Most of them are in South Germany, and all dojos are very small groups. There are only 2 dojos who have a professional teacher. You might know Thomas Pozzelny from Erlangen.
Yeah.
He's doing professional teaching, Aikido and Karate, and I'm the other one who is doing professional teaching. And all the others are like sports club, like just for hobby. They teach Aikido. And I think it's just 3 or 4 dojos who have kids classes as well. All the others have adults classes only. But it's growing. So some of my students or our students here from Kontal moved, for example, to North Germany, like Sven. Maybe you remember Sven. He was also in 2014.
Yes.
He opened a dojo in Bremen in North Germany. And then there's Robin from Gelsenkirchen also opened a dojo. So it's growing at the moment. It's quite nice, actually.
Yeah. I was I haven't contacted yet Thomas, but it's going to be also the interviews that I was planning. I don't want to have Germany consecutively on the interviews. Maybe I will push him a little farther in a couple of weeks. I already have scheduled like a 60 interviews. I'm kind of lost in track. Who's going to be next now? So it's going to be complicated. This is really. Okay. I have a really good vibes coming from the Deshis. They're really happy to have these kind of interviews, just allowing people to know the Deshis of Iwama Shinshin Aikido Rinkai a little more. And I guess all this information from people that we were there push them to go to Iwama. Now the situation with the coronavirus, and we know that there's actually no uchi deshis at all, and as we know, as far as I know, Sensei is the only job he has, having uchi deshis and doing seminars, and everything now is stopped. So when everything starts going, we really need to push, right?
Yeah.
The Sensei. And
yes.
No, what do you think about that?
It's a difficult time at the moment, and it seems like also Aikido is not that popular anymore. Even in Japan, it's not that popular anymore. So it's important for us actually, for maybe when we do seminars, when we teach seminars, to tell people to come to Iwama. But it's also very important to not tell them that this is just a Japanese Aikido holiday. What they have when they go to Iwama. It's a very, it's a very strict time. It's a very strict training. So they also need to face that. And for me, the feeling is nowadays it's even more strict in being in Iwama than it was 10 years ago. Or 15 years ago.
Yeah, I have
since we now have Waka Sensei, very strong person and very strict person, Mitsuyoshi Sensei as well.
Yeah.
So it can be very hard. People need to know that and to prepare about that. Otherwise, they come back and they have kind of like a trauma. And after that trauma, they tell everybody not to go because it's so bad being there, and this shouldn't happen. So we have to be very careful about that.
And my personal experience about that is many times I had to be honest, right? I was thinking, see, 5 a.m., 5:01 a.m. in the morning, right? Waking up in the middle of almost night in winter time, cold as like freezer. What I'm doing here? What did I choose to come here? Many times thinking, why?
Yes, yes.
You pay the flight. You came over here. There is 3 months more to stay here. Don't start thinking about it. Keep going. Wake up. Grab your shoes. Start cleaning. Go to Keiko. Get hit. Get yelled. Learn. Go to cook. Then all the stuff that is really helping the inner core of any of us. It's like you get stronger. You force yourself. It's the Letanren, right? Letanren Uchi. One more time,
yes,
one more time.
But usually I have both moments being in Ivama. Waking up in the morning, in the middle of the night, like you said, starting to work, asking me the questions, why am I so stupid being here? But usually around maybe 8:30 in the morning after the class, you know this situation, the sun is shining, you're leaving the forest,
beautiful,
going back to Khan, cleaning up, then you get the answer.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, like, yes, that's the reason I'm being here, because that feeling is like, just after class, you had some good moments in training, or good corrections, or good people to train with, and nice weather, and everything. So that's usually the moment where I kind of relax and say to myself, yeah, that's the reason. That's why I get up every morning.
Yeah,
like this.
I felt that also, maybe because I've been through 4 months. I can see the sun coming in different positions, right? And at the beginning, I started cleaning the showman as a Hiruchideshi with no lights at all. And then start going the month, start looking the shining of the sun coming through the window, hitting directly the showman. And then I started realizing that I was not perfectly clean, because I started seeing specks of dust. And I was like, come on, since you will kill me. So cleaning it more and more. But again,
Yes.
those
Yes,
things are really stick in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I will show you a small video that we spoke a little, right? And I want you to see, I want everybody to see this, but then I want to have your feelings about that moment. So let's see if I can make it happen right now.
Okay. Curious?
Yeah, you know, we already spoke about this, right? Hold on.
I didn't see it for a long time.
Yeah. So this is the video, right?
Oh. Alessandro Sensei.
Yeah, that we spoke the other day with Alberto Shihan, and all these different Minages of Alessandro San. And I remember being on the stage, sitting next to everybody, and I was like, how many other Minages can do this, man? I mean, it was beautiful, everything. And you were hitting, and I was like, okay, he goes, grabs his neck, okay, it's going. And you keep waking up. Beautiful.
Yeah, remember one, that one is special. That's not an Iliminage.
Yeah.
And about this demonstration was, we actually practiced 2 times only.
Yeah.
I think that the preparation was just Alessandro. He kind of complained, I still don't have any uke. And then I said, yeah, well, I can do it for you if you want. And then he was like very happy. And then he just, we went to the Budokan, to the Budo Sports Hall.
Yeah.
And then he said, yeah, well, that's what I want to do. I want to do this kind of Iriminage and this kind of Iriminage and this way. And you just have to remember the first and the second time, don't do Tobyuke me, and the rest it will just happen.
Yeah.
And so he did it 2 times, and then the demonstration started. And this was 2014, right? That was the 10 years
Yes.
anniversary of the Iwama Shinchinai Kurenkai, and it was a very special moment also with Alessandro, because he was very sick already when he came to Japan. He was very weak, actually. But during the practice and during that demonstration, I didn't feel any weakness, because it was like perfect. It felt like perfect awase, perfect kino nagare to me. It was just flowing. And so it happened that at one technique, he wanted to go around me and he was falling off to his, to his backside, because he lost his balance because of that weakness. And then he was just throwing me like with what's it called, a stemiwasa technique in judo. Yeah. He was throwing me like this over him. And I was really impressed, and also a bit shocked, because I thought we didn't practice this, and it wasn't an eliminage. What's wrong? Of course, I kind of recognized that he was stumbling. Nobody saw it on the video so much, but I recognized.
But one thing is that we were looking at that live, and it was like wow, what a nice technique. And nobody saw anything. Yeah. And after we were all happy, and so he said to me, and I was like, what a beautiful technique, Shihan, whatever. I was falling. I wasn't expecting to do that. It was like, oh, really? It was beautiful. I mean, that's the kind of greatness.
Yeah, I told him. He came to me and said to me, "Oh, I was falling. Thank you very much for taking that good ukemi." And I told him, you know, I didn't recognize taking any ukemi. You just threw me. Yeah. And he threw me so close to the left border of the stage that I was almost falling to Sensei's feet. He was just sitting there besides, right? Yeah. So yeah, it was really great moment, actually.
Yeah, I believe we just we trained the day before on Tanrinkan. I did not remember training on Budokan for the demonstration. I believe we did all the ceremony when we're gonna be entering in, and then turning around, then bowing and so, and then going back and forth. And we did like just maybe one full demonstration privately the day before on Tanrinkan, I remember. But
yes.
It was great, that party. We ate a lot. We drink even more. We're running out of time. We drink even more. I remember Mario finishing all the big bucket of sake, because Sensei says nobody leaves until we run out of sake. And Mario grabbed all the bucket, drinking. Oh, Sensei, okay, this. And he drank it all.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember going to Tokyo, all quiet on 2 different buses. And then when we come back, it was whole party. We were all drunk. It was beautiful.
The most special thing about 2014 in Iwama was to meet so many people, actually. Most of them I knew only from telling stories about them. Some of them I met when I went to Iwama. But, you know, like Simon Harris and Mick from Australia and Jose Silva and all those people, the guys from Chile and so on, I never met them before. And that was like a gathering of everybody from the whole world.
Myself too.
It was also tough because we were, 50 people, right?
Yeah, around 40, yes. It was a challenge.
From that point of view, it was
it was a really challenge. Yeah, it was really a challenge. And I came up with the idea to break it up in teams. And so I did 7 teams, one for every day.
Yes.
And we started jumping to different, I don't know, there was so on for many things. We were cleaning toilets twice a day, because there are 40 people. So if you think about it, only 3 toilet seats for 30 people, at least one every time.
Yes.
We have to break it up. We're cleaning in the morning, we clean in the afternoon, and we're showering, we're cleaning, we're cooking. It was terrible. It was like we had like 4 bicycles coming to Kazumi to get food and then come back and start cooking. It was beautiful, really beautiful.
Yes.
Anyways, we're running out of time. Zoom is giving me only 40 minutes. We are already 35. So maybe you're on. There's anything else you're gonna share to us? Any thoughts or anything that you wanna do? You're gonna say?
Well, there's not so much thoughts. It's just in this difficult time now. We didn't talk about Corona yet, but I think for everybody who is loving doing Aikido, training Aikido, it's a very tough time, and for many people, it's the job which is on risk at the moment, and the financial situation. It's very, very hard to keep going, to have and to be creative in how can we still do training, how can we still do Aikido and keep Aikido in our mind. And for me, it's very important to not getting trapped in this collective feeling of fear about what this virus is, or if there's any higher power being guilty about our situation at the moment. It's very important to get back to yourself and maybe to meditate and to think about how can we continue to train. And what Sensei said some weeks ago in this situation, he made this little speech or wrote this letter. He said you can even close your eyes and practice Aikido, and that's one very important thing, that we keep it in mind, and then we collect all this energy which we collect in ourselves, and then it will just explode when we are able to train again and come together again. And I think this can be a very good opportunity, so we can get a real energy boost and even train more when we recognize now we can touch each other again, we can do techniques and so on.
Yes.
And yeah, I really hope that this will happen, and that we have a lot of joyful training after that difficult situation. And this is what I wish for everyone, actually.
All right. Thank you, Volker-san. Again, we met only once for that time, and I felt that I know you for a long time. Have many other dishes from Iwama Shinshin.
We're talking a lot.
but we haven't had any video conversation before since 2014 that we met in person. But
yes, that's right.
Sometimes there's this bonding from two person, like Jose Vega. I haven't met him yet, and we spoke many times, and it's like I've been already know him, right? When I feel with the heart are in tune, right, in symphony, right? Everything goes along, and that's one of the feelings I have with you.
Yeah, me the same. It's a good conversation, and but actually, I hope to meet you again live.
I was thinking going to Portugal for Sensei seminar. If everything goes okay, business-wise and coronavirus-wise. I don't know what's going to happen, but I was planning to have some kind of small tour, right? Also have friends on Germany, on Karlsruhe, the city. So
okay.
Of course, I have the luck to go anywhere in the world. I have people expecting me to be there. So this is a good feeling for me.
Yeah, let's wait until the Corona time is over.
Yeah. Okay, then it's gonna break anytime.
Okay.
Be careful. Domo arigatou gozaimashita, Volker-san.
Okay. So, you too. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.